Well, for dog owners tonight, there may be some answers about a mystery illness that's been plaguing pups across the country. It's a respiratory illness with symptoms that include coughing, fever, and intermittent loss of appetite, all symptoms that may sound like kennel cough, but they last much longer, 6 weeks or more, and can prove fatal. Researchers warn dogs are more likely to develop the illness after being in close contact with other dogs. And so far, the illness has hit at least 8 states: Maryland, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Illinois, Colorado, Wyoming, and Oregon. And that is where our next guest is from. Dr. Stephen Kochis, Chief Medical Officer of the Oregon Humane Society. I spoke with him earlier about the illness. When did we see the first cases of this canine mystery illness pop up?
For us here in Oregon, it was earlier this year in the summer, probably with a peak around July, August timeframe. And it's kind of, it's intermittently popping up still now, but not to the extent that it was come, like I said, July or August timeframe.
So just a few seconds ago, we highlighted the states with the documented cases. Do you expect that list will expand?
I mean, we still haven't identified what the agent is that's causing this, but I expect, especially because people travel with their pets, people go to dog shows. This is the holidays where people are traveling with their pets. I expect that this will be seen probably everywhere. Yeah.
Is there any more insight into what may be causing this illness?
I think it's kind of split between two different camps. I think there are some people who believe that it is a bacteria, a new organism that we haven't either been able to culture or identify. And then there's another group of people who feel that it's probably viral, just based on the fact that how it spreads. But we don't know. There's a recent study out of New England that actually has been documenting this illness since December of last year, of 2022, and that was recently published. But to date, we just don't know what it is.
So it's particularly frightening because there have been deaths associated with this illness. So if owners are concerned and they maybe have to board their pets over the holidays, they have grooming appointments that they'd like to follow through with, what is your best advice for those pet owners?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing is for people not to panic. All of the normal respiratory organisms are still circulating. So if your pet becomes ill with respiratory disease, don't automatically assume that it has this new mysterious illness that's going to kill them. My first advice is to make sure your pet is vaccinated for all the things that we can vaccinate for. If your pet is showing respiratory signs, obviously isolate in the home, call your vet or get veterinary advice and determine whether or not the pet needs to be seen. I don't think that people need to necessarily cancel all of their plans, et cetera. I probably would caution people during this busy holiday season, maybe not board your pet when we know boarding facilities are super full, chock full, and people are traveling all over. But I don't think there's a need necessarily to keep your pet at home and not do all of your normal activities. For us in Oregon, I think we had about 200 cases that were documented in the state of Oregon, and there's probably estimated close to 1 million dogs that live in Oregon. So it's a very small percentage that we're seeing this with. And also reminding people that pets can unfortunately progress to pneumonia, even with all of the existing organisms that we already see.
All right, good to note. Have you witnessed any effective treatment or any potential cures?
No treatment, no effective cure necessarily. I mean, any dog that progresses to, goes from an upper respiratory infection to lower respiratory infection, which is what we commonly call pneumonia. The treatment is IV antibiotics, IV fluids, supportive care, nebulization, things like that. Sometimes they need oxygen. So we treat them similarly to basically any other respiratory illness.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.